with more than 16,000 participants, more than 1,000 participants each country. Some very important notes before we start. This survey cannot stand by itself, and this is what we are trying to do in Action Protection League. This survey purpose is not to come and point on this country or another country as the most anti-Semitic country or the most tolerant country toward Jews. This is not the purpose of this survey. The purpose of this survey is to be one very important element of a general picture regarding anti-Semitism. You can find, I will say that we will move briefly about the survey, but you can find it more detailed in the books that I will be really grateful to our EJA partners if they can give the books to our guests here. And you can find it as well in our website. It's apleu.org. So you can find the survey more detailed in both sources. Very briefly about the presentation, we put here some, let's say, major cases to let you understand pretty much just a taste of the survey, but is to emphasize not only the results, but most of all, it's come to emphasize the complex of anti-Semitism. So, if you can, Misha, please, we can just run with the presentation. You can run with it. So, this is some very interesting detail regarding the FRA, the Fundamental Rights Agency of the EU. They made some survey regarding the Jewish perspective on anti-Semitism, also in few member states. They did one survey in 2012 and one survey in 2018, and you can see the changes regarding the feeling of the Jewish populations in Europe regarding anti-Semitism and how safe they are feeling in their countries. So when we are talking about the general picture of anti-Semitism, the survey is one element, but we combine it with the FRA database as well. It gives us another perspective, and we also combine it with the incidents. So you can see, for example, that there are countries that by the survey, the anti-Semitism is maybe high, but they have very few incidents per year. So we are trying to calculate all the data from all the sources that we have and to try to create the most authentic and best reflection for the situation right now in Europe. You can, Misha, you can move forward. Yeah, you can run with the survey. Let's just move. This is the basic data of the survey itself. You can move directly to the results just to show you pretty much what we are talking about, to give you some taste about the survey itself. And as I said, you can read it more detailed in the books and in our website. So you can see here there are some statements, and people had to sign whether they are very agree, or very disagree and disagree. So you can see the three highest results and the three lowest results per country on each question. I will let you a few seconds to read the questions, and then we can move forward, because my point here, Misha, if you can move forward, this is my point, that you can see that, if you can maybe move one more slide. So you can see that there is not one country that you can point on it and say, this is the most anti-Semitic country because they are always at the bottom. Now you see that it's very, very flexible. It's very complex. The percentage are changing from question to question. It's not, there is not some line or some consistently answers regarding this country or another. This is why we are trying to combine this with more sources. So we can move forward. Just to give you some taste how it looks, you can get some small understanding about our survey, what we have done, what kind of questions were asked. We tried to figure out in several types or expressions of anti-Semitism. We try to check the classic anti-Semitism positions and the attitude toward Israel. So this is pretty much about the survey. Since we are very short in time, I will finish here and I will give the floor to my colleague Salai Kalman. So thank you for listening.
Thank you. So we had 2 days, 2 long days conferences, very fruitful and successful conferences, I believe, and very special thanks for the organizer, Rabbi Margolin, and his colleagues to arrange this whole meeting. Just few things let me express at the end of our presentation. During these 2 days, many nice and heavy thoughts has been expressed from this place, from this floor to the audience. I would like to say something about the action, not the heavy thoughts, but what we have been done recently or a few years since 2012, and what is our future plan to act as combating anti-Semitism. The first one is, as our presentation or Tamir mentioned, we should know exactly what kind of anti-Semitism we are facing in. We have to know exactly what is the appearance of the anti-Semitism. Therefore, we create our own methodology to gather and combine all anti-Semitic incidents in our countries. First, in Hungary, and the last half year, we have been doing it for other 7 countries as well, which is published on our website. But we would like to extend this activity to all 27 European countries and combine the data and express what is the real anti-Semitic incidents in the European Union. We are planning to publish the monthly report, as we do in Hungary and the other 7 countries as well, and cooperated with the local organization. If Hungary can do that, if our organization in Hungary could have done this, all any other European countries can be done for the future. There are some countries which this kind of monitoring report is existing already, but we would like to make a similar methodology or use the same methodology in all countries. So this is the first, and we are calling all the Jewish organizations to be a partner in this. Our colleagues will call each organization we have been met during these 2 days and previously as well to be a partner in this activity. The second one is the most important, we believe. It's based on the education. The ignorance and lack of knowledge is the wider source of anti-Semitism. If the children as earliest age as possible, can get the right information about Judaism, about the Jewish view of the life, of the ethics and moral, and also in Israel, or the right facts about Holocaust, that fact can reduce the next anti-Semitic prejudice for the growing generations. So therefore, as in Hungary have been done recently, the last few years, supported by the Hungarian government, of course, we revised all the textbooks and worksheets has been used in the education system as a part of the curriculum. So the Jewish experts, literature, historians, and other experts just read out all books which is used in the elementary and secondary school, and they checked and monitored how the Jewish Judaism appeared on the textbooks. And if was necessary, we create a list of amendments which were published, and this request for amendment was negotiated with the author or the editors of the worksheets and workbooks. In Hungary, we create 420 somehow amendments in used textbooks, and 70% of this request was accepted and changed for the next edition, which have been done in last 2 years. So these initiatives we try to extend to other European countries as well. This project has been granted by the Visegrad Fund. It means Slovakia and Poland. We are working on a pilot project to create so-called white book, which is the itinerary how the Jewishness would be expressed on the worksheets in Poland and Slovakia. And then we choose the list of the worksheets and word books. And then the second phase of this project, the local Jewish expert will advise how much or what kind of changes would have been desired in the text, in the content of the textbooks. This major two action or acts in our, this could be our major pillars in our activity in Action and Protection League, to involve the local Jewish organization, call the local Jewish organization be a partner in these two projects. And if in Hungary we could do that, any other country, the Jewish organization can arrange that kind of activity, and this real act the real tachlis to combat anti-Semitism, and the nice word and nice principle and nice thoughts can turn into an act, and the result will be shown in the next generation within 5 years. So thank you for your attention, and I would ask you, please join us in this task, and our colleagues and I am really at your disposal, and give you introduction and offer you a cooperation in these challenges. Thank you very much, and I wish you to a good conference till, I don't know, rest of the day. Thank you very much.
So please stay with us, because I would like some questions, but we're coming now to the last session, this is the ending. I would like to ask our colleagues and our friends from there to just please join us, and also from here, if possible, to just join us. I would like to have a very nice picture of all of us. We heard so many amazing things. We heard, just join us, please. Thank you. We heard really from amazing speakers. Some people traveled from Italy, from Greece, from North Macedonia, from Germany to be with us. And I wanted to make sure we have a very nice, and from Spain, obviously, I want to make sure we have a very nice picture at the end, all of us. If there anyone else that would like to sit at the front, it's a very honorly space. Yes. Yes, yes.
Contact them. How can we contact them?
Of course, yeah. First of all, just to say, at the program itself, you can see their details, but also the book itself is out there. The booklet basically it has all the details, the website, and all of the participants, both the journalists and the. If I can please have your attention, if it's okay. Yes. So both. I would like also, if possible, the. Okay. Can I please ask the team of the European Jewish Association to please join me here, if that's okay? Alex Benjamin. Alex. All right. Okay, he's coming. Okay, so I wanted to present the team, but I'll do it afterwards when Alex joins. So I wanted you to also, because you heard a lot from me. Okay, thank you for helping me. Okay. I wanted to make sure that we give honor where honor is due, because you heard a lot from me. I also wanted you to physically see also my colleagues that worked towards this event. But we have a few more friends that they wanted to share certain words with us. So if it's okay, we're going to hear from them, and then we're going to stop for lunch and be over there. Okay. I wanted to, first of all, our colleagues gave a wonderful presentation, and I wanted to ask if there's any questions, whether even from members of parliament, Mr. Karagounis, if you had any questions, or if you wanted to give them together, your speech is really up to you. But if there's any questions from the young people, anything that you wanted to ask further or want them to elaborate? I know that the Jewish people themselves, they heard the presentation before, I understand that. Yes, I know the Jewish people heard the presentation before, but some of the other people that joined us only for today. Mr. Romano, maybe you have a question you wanted to pose? No.
Well, first of all, my name is Roman Polkovic.
Please.
I'm a journalist from Croatia, and I run the show in Croatia on Croatian television, and I am as well associate of European Jewish Association and chief coordinator of
Balkan countries.
yes, combat with anti-Semitism on Southeast Balkan, as a matter of fact, on ex-Yugoslavia. And this is my question. I spent time with one nice lady from Holland, yeah, and you talk about this growing anti-Semitism. No, Radimer Golem was a guest of mine, Alex Benjamin was a guest of mine, and you wouldn't believe me, but somebody will tell you that after Second World War there will be concentration camps in Europe, you wouldn't believe. You will say, no, it's impossible. Yeah, yes, it was possible. 90s on Balkan. So this is very, very, very serious situation if nobody talk in European media about all those problems. Because, believe me, I'm 40 years almost in media. I'm co-founder and co-owner of first independent television on Balkan, as a matter of fact. Now I'm on state television, but no, I'm a whole my life in radio programs and so on, in different kind of media. And believe me, nobody talked about these problems. Not on this way. Nobody talked about this anyway.
Can I just say?
There's nothing. Thank you and excuse me for.
No problem, no problem. I wanted to say that I grew up in Greece. As you said, I was hearing things on the media myself, but I was like, something is missing here. I'm not hearing loud and clear the concerns of the Jewish people. But the good thing is that in Greece, a lot of things have changed. And I see change in some countries where good change, I mean, and in other countries, unfortunately, in Western countries, we find that it's almost like it's going worse, but maybe that's a generalization. Kalman, maybe you have something that you would like to add, is there, please?
There are many events, there are many forums, there are many conferences about anti-Semitism, how to combat anti-Semitism. Nowadays, there are at least 2 places in Europe, in 2 capitals, holding some conferences here in Brussels and Malmö as well. So there are many opportunities to discuss about anti-Semitism, as we guess. What is missing in our point of view is acting. It's good for talking about anti-Semitism if the result of this discussion, some acts. It's really nice. Recently has been published the European Union strategy combating anti-Semitism. Nice words. Everybody wished to hear that. But we are waiting for the action plan. What's going to be the tacos? No, it's a word. So I've been working in this field almost 10 years. Every year I spend many times in conferences, but honestly I didn't hear many really good practice to be act against anti-Semitism. That's why I just mentioned 2 our activities. To step forward to see what is exactly the anti-Semitism we are facing day by day, and what we can changes in the next generation, in their minds, in their thoughts, in their view about the world and about the Judaism, about the Jewish people, about the Holocaust, for example, or about Israel, which will be which will lead us to a much less anti-Semitic prejudice that we are facing nowadays, as our survey shows. So about the Balkan countries, you are right. They are not on the map in discussion. We do not have the proper data from those countries. That's why our intention to create anti-Semitic incidents monitoring, a monthly reporting monitoring from all 27 European countries, including Croatia and Slovenia as well, but including Romania, Bulgaria. We have data from Bulgaria, for example. But that's very important.